Welcome, everyone. We are going to have a mix of guests and members tonight, which is always great. And because we cover things that our members may not know about, and we give them a refresher about what they can use in NAWBO, and then, of course, to let new folks know about NAWBO. This is our second event this year, and it was really great last time, and so we decided to repeat it. And it also is cool that it lines up with our membership drive for National NAWBO, which all the chapters can extend that discount through April 30th for that little bit of savings on your new membership. And speaking of that, Carlitha is here. She is our membership director.
How is everyone this evening? It's good to have you all here. I don't hear any comments, but I see some waves, so that's good. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, good to have everybody. I'm excited about tonight's session and sharing and learning something about all of you and what you do, what it is that you're looking for in terms of a women's group that you can become a part of. Hopefully we can share some real good things with you tonight, and you would just go away excited and saying, where do I sign up?
So we've got mostly, maybe half and half. We've got some members in the room right now. We have about 26 registered.
Yes.
So we have a certain percentage that doesn't end up getting to come, where everybody's in Zoom world, and just sometimes by the end of the day, people just have too much. And it's just too hard. But I'll just go ahead and point out our members. I'm Janice Cutler, and I am the Chair of Professional Development, and I'm one of the co-hosts this evening. And Carlitha, whom you've just met, is our membership director. And of course, she's a member. And Holly Van Apeldoorn is helping run the screen, as well as she is a member and corporate partner director. Elizabeth Skibby is a member as well. Welcome, Elizabeth. And Emily Parks is our president-elect. So she is, of course, a member. And I don't think I missed anybody. Did I miss any members? I don't always know all the brand new ones. Okay, everybody else is a guest. So we are expecting more members and more guests. The way this will work this evening is we will begin with a presentation. And it's not super long, but we do stop every once in a while to put a link in the chat if anybody wants something like that, or an email for somebody's contact information for some reason. So we do take those very brief breaks in between some of the slides, but it doesn't take all that long. And then we take questions based on that, and then we go into breakout rooms. And we get to know each other a little bit better. And there's always going to be a member in your breakout room to ask questions. Even if you are a member and you just don't know something or you want to contribute, that's great. And then, of course, it serves to help our guests understand things a little bit better and just get to know everybody. We do have a caller here, number 917. So if you would like to just call out your name real quick so we know who we've got here. Is anyone there? Well, when you get a moment, oh, there you are. Now you're muted.
Hi, my name is Deb Mooring, and I'm the 917, and I'm getting ready to start a women's owned business in the next 6 months.
Okay, well, welcome. Thank you very much. And I see Michelle Campbell is here. Welcome, Michelle.
Hi, Janice. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm well.
Okay. So we will probably have some folks joining us as we go. But I think what we'll do is we will get started with the brief presentation, and then we will take questions at that point once we're finished. Okay. All right, so now we've got it. My screen was kind of going back and forth, so I was like, am I on my presentation or am I on our presentation? Okay. So once again, welcome everyone. I just briefly touched on the fact that we are in membership drive time through April 30th. So if you are a guest, oops, we've lost it. Holly?
Give me 1 second. Is it
Oh,
showing the screen, guys? Because it was
was.
showing it. Okay, give me 1
Yeah.
second, because it was showing a different screen for me. So
Okay. You know, there's never a dull moment with Zoom. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, there we are in membership drive timeframe through the end of April. So if anybody is considering it, you do save a little bit of money on your new membership if you join by April 30th. Next slide, please. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Holly talk on the next two slides about our corporate partners. We always start all of our programs with these two slides to give our corporate partners exposure and let folks know about that option as well. So Holly, do you want to take this over?
yeah, so I'm Holly Van Apeldoorn. I'm the Director of Corporate Partners this year on the board. And so as Jana said, we do have several levels of corporate partners. We have our platinum and our gold level sponsors on this lovely slide right here. Platinum obviously being our highest level of corporate partnership, gold being the next, and then you have your silver. Corporate partners are truly important to us as a organization because they're the ones that keep us being able to put on the programs that we put on. So being able to have these sponsors invest in NAWBO Greater Raleigh's chapter allows us to put on all those wonderful workshops and luncheons and socials that you guys enjoy so much attending. So if you know someone who is a business owner that might be interested in partnering with NAWBO Greater Raleigh, or you feel like we may be a good fit for them and you would like for me to reach out to them or have them reach out to me, I will put my information in the chat box so that you have my email. Like I said, we do have 3 different levels. And so the investment starts at $1,500 and goes up to $5,000. And then depending on your level, depends on what benefits you do get. But you get things such as recognition on our website, getting recognized at all of our events that we do. We have some highlight specials on social media, email blast, lots of different options for people to be able to take advantage of getting their business in front of all these lovely ladies that join us on a monthly basis. So.
Okay. Thank you, Holly, very much. And we thank our sponsors very, very much. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're ready for the next slide. Okay, so this is our board of directors for Greater Raleigh this year. We are on the board in these positions until June, and then we hold our annual installation event to install the next board. And we thank everyone for their service. It's to varying degrees. Some of the positions take a little more time than others, but we really are one. We really are one. We all help each other. And I think I actually didn't count. It says 8, 9, 10, yeah, 11. Our last year's president used to say 11 equals 1. And I always liked that because it was true. We all, when we all get busy, we're all business owners or in business, or in my case, I'm a retired business owner, but I still work part-time for the businesses that I sold. But we all get busy. We all have lives, and we all can count on each other. So it's been really great working with these women this year. So I will be rolling off the board next year, but I will be helping on another committee. So I'm not going too far. So these are all the faces that you can put with the names. And next slide, please. These are the names with the businesses. So just this is our board, and these are the businesses that they are associated with. And if you know any of them and are able to support them, that's great. If not, see if you can reach out to them on LinkedIn and make some connections. Next slide, please. All right, Carlitha, we are ready for you.
Okay. So thank you, Janice, for sharing all of that really good information. And I hope everybody who's listening, you can really see how involved we all are. We certainly, as part of your membership, you can certainly, you may be interested in even becoming a board member or working on a committee. Janice mentioned about rolling into a different committee next time, but there's lots of opportunities for everybody. So thank you, Janice, for sharing that. So let's find out more about the dynamics of being a local chapter member. I'm sure Janice said NAWBO is not international, a national organization. So when you join, you get the benefits of that national organization, but you also get the benefits of being a part of a local organization as well. So all of that's covered under the one membership. So here we are showing just a snapshot of the local membership, how the demographics work out in terms of the businesses that are involved in our chapter. 63% are business owners and have been for more than 10 years. The other 37% of business owners, for between 1 and 10 years. 75% have at least one full-time employee. 79% are B2C, 21% B2B. And then you see from a financial standpoint that 37 of these businesses generate up to $250,000 in revenue. 42% have businesses that generate up to $1 million in revenue. So, we show you those, all of those dynamics, all of those demographics from a business ownership standpoint. And, hopefully you can see how you too can fit into this NAWBO Greater Raleigh picture. Next slide, please. NAWBO Greater Raleigh is meeting the needs of current and future business owners. You see here through connecting, learning, building, growing, and advocating. Our theme for this year is women, wealth, and influence. Together we thrive. And so we've been trying really to engage with each other throughout this year. This NAWBO year started in July, and like Janice says, it ends in June. But we've been really trying hard to engage, to keep our members engaged, to identify programs and opportunities that are really going to be interesting to you, that are going to keep you, really excited about becoming a member, first of all, and then continuing your membership. So these elements enhance your membership: the connecting, the learning, the building, growing, and advocating. Next slide, please. So as it relates to connecting, you will, as a member, you will attend local chapter events. Obviously, right now, we're still into a virtual mode because of the pandemic. But even though they're virtual, the energy and the value are not diminished. And I know that we're just overwhelmed sometimes with Zoom calls and virtual meetings and that kind of thing. But like I said, we try to bring energy, we try to bring value, we try to bring interesting topics that, even though it is another Zoom call, it is something that relates to you, relates to your business. It helps you to hopefully come up in terms of your understanding of business, your understanding of different elements of business, gives you an opportunity to ask questions, to hear from experts many times in terms of what our business concerns are. We're also able to attend the national conferences. The Women Business Owners Conference, of course, this past year was virtual. The next national conference is coming up in the fall, and it's scheduled to be in New Orleans. And so hopefully, the country will be vaccinated enough, and that a lot of the concerns that we've had about the spread of COVID and the variants and all of that kind of thing will be diminished, and we actually hopefully will be able to meet face to face. Obviously, if we get down the path and it doesn't work out that way, the show will still go on, but it would have to be virtual. But right now, we're planning for a live in-person event in New Orleans. Also, and Janice is going to speak to this on the next slide. A great opportunity to connect, one that we really put a lot of emphasis on, a lot of value in, is the opportunity to be a part of a peer group. That is really where you're able to develop affinity, develop some connections on a smaller scale. Obviously, when you come into an organization like NAWBO, and a local chapter like NAWBO Greater Raleigh, sometimes it's a challenge, even when you're meeting face to face, to get to know everybody in the group. And so the peer group gives you an opportunity, and I'll not go into that, but Janice will share with you, but this is a really, really great way to connect. So Janice, I'll hand it over to you.
Okay, thank you. So one of the 3 arms of the Professional Development Committee is the peer group. And 2 of my committee members are not here tonight. So Wendy Gates Corbett organizes the peer groups this year for professional development. And as Carlita said, it's an amazing opportunity. If you're a member, you have to be a premier member to have this as part of your membership, and it's no extra cost. And it is, they're organized, you're assigned / matched up with a peer group of women, of anywhere from 7 to 12 women, business owners. You're not in there with any competitors, and everything is confidential that you discuss, and they set their meeting times, but typically a peer group will meet once a month for an hour or 2. And some of them decide they're going to take turns each month to present an issue that one business owner is having, and then the whole roundtable type group will kind of help them solve the problem. They'll bounce ideas off each other. Every group is a little different, but the idea about it is that it's your own little board of directors, so to speak. So, when you're a business owner and you don't have a partner or another staff member or even a spouse who you're involved in the business with, it's hard to be there at the top, right? So you don't always have somebody to bounce ideas off of, and maybe you've developed some connections within NAWBO, but maybe, it's nice to have this place to go every month to talk with other business owners who likely have had that same experience as you have, or know somebody who has, and they have things to offer. I was in a peer group for probably 10 or 11 years, I would say. Now we've all sold our businesses, so we kind of grew up together in that sense, and we were very tight, and we never missed, well, hardly ever missed one of our peer group meetings. And we helped each other through lots and lots of stuff. So we try to match people up with, like, for instance, my peer group was business owners with employees, because of course, if you have employees, you all have a lot of the same issues. So it was invaluable to me, and I highly recommend it. Some people who join NAWBO simply join it for just the peer group. They may not have time to come to the luncheons once we're in person again, which are also awesome, but they may not have time to come to some of the other things, because we offer lots of programs throughout the year. And so, but the peer groups are something that they're really committed to. I'm not saying that's the only reason to join, but it's a very big reason and very big benefit that you can have. And currently they're, I think, meeting over Zoom. Maybe some of them have started meeting outside now that it's warm enough. It just depends on the group, but the group decides that. So this is just, one really huge benefit. And I'm happy to answer any questions about the peer groups at the end. Next slide, please. Okay, so as you heard, we are a national organization. The peer group part was part of our chapter. So it's people in our greater Raleigh area, the Triangle and whatnot. But these items are strictly for strictly the national benefits. So these are some of the things you can take advantage of with your membership, because when you join, you get the national membership and then you're part of a chapter. So there's lots of different topics that their e-learning series, for instance, cover, and they change these out, but these are some main themes that they keep with each year, and these are no cost to you, and you can log on anytime and kind of look at a whole menu of things for your business that you can learn about. And these are just some of the things that they offer. Next slide, please. And is this, I think I'm supposed to be turning it over to Carlitha here, but I wanted to make one more point. I don't think we mentioned how many members we've got in the Greater Raleigh chapter. It runs around 70 to 75. Some years we've been at 80. And so that's another, reason to really try to find some niche groups to get involved with, whether it's a committee, the board, if you're interested in developing more leadership skills, or being in a peer group, or maybe just joining one of our events that has, you know, a solid attendance every month, and get to know those ladies. So, you know, with a membership of 70 to 75, especially in the virtual world, it can be kind of hard. So, you know, trying to, my committee, our job is to point out opportunities and plug people in to what works best for them. So Carlitha, if you want to take away, starting with a slide.
Okay, thank you. And before I get into that slide, I did want to make a note that Emily, thanks Emily, she put a note in the chat about the National Women's Business Conference. It's in New Orleans, and it's being offered both in person and virtual. So that's really good to know. You know, obviously that helps to make sure that you can attend and participate, no matter what the particular conditions are related to the pandemic. But so let's talk about building connections. You can use the NAWBO Greater Raleigh membership directory. Once you become a member of NAWBO, your information is housed in the national directory, but it's also housed in the, you know, in the Greater Raleigh directory as well. And so you can build your network on social media platforms. This allows you to extend your NAWBO connections. If you are, you know, no matter what your business is or your specialty, your area of expertise, you can find people who are in like businesses across the United States that you can connect with and build relationships with. Even obviously within the NAWBO Greater Raleigh chapter, you can do the same thing, but having access to those membership directories is priceless in terms of connecting with other people. You know, I am the membership director for this year. I am able to find out, you know, get information and connect with membership directors in other chapters across the country, and the same thing for all members and all committees and that kind of thing. Also, you can connect with Greater Raleigh communities, Greater Raleigh community partners for business resources. Janice is going to share about that, our community partners, in just a little bit, but that's another great resource for building connections. And then visit the Institute on NAWBO National site for business resources. There is a whole venue of kind of an electronic or a virtual venue there of all of the resources that are available to us through NAWBO National, NAWBO HQ. So, you know, there are just so many resources that are available to you. We won't be able to obviously get into all of the details of all of it tonight, but you can go to the NAWBO.org site and find that, and find all, you know, so much more information about the things that we're talking about tonight. The next slide, please. Talking about growing and expanding. Expanding your connections and skills, of course, by joining a committee. As we've mentioned, the potential for you, once you become a member, to join a committee, to develop your leadership skills by saying, I'd like to be, you know, a part of the chapter board. You might want to submit a course in your area of expertise for NAWBO National's virtual learning and speaking opportunities. Monthly, NAWBO HQ hosts different presentations, and they, you know, from among the NAWBO membership across the country, we have various speakers that speak to different areas of expertise, and you can certainly submit a request to be considered for that. And then consider joining NAWBO National Circle program, which is an exclusive membership for women business owners with revenues of $1 million. So there's lots of different ways for you to grow and expand your connections throughout the organization. Next slide, please. And then, of course, NAWBO One is a monthly e-publication. This is a virtual publication. It's put out the second Wednesday of the month, business and lifestyle and community content. And all you have to do is just go to NAWBO.org, and you can find information on that, and all of, you know, the previous publications, previous topics that have been discussed or published. You can have access to those. So all of these are ways that you can just connect and build your relationships and information base as it relates to the NAWBO organization. Now I'm going to turn it over to Janice. She's going to share with us about advocacy.
Next slide, please. Okay, so we do have, you may have seen her on the list earlier, Karina Lemons is our advocacy chair. She is not here tonight, so I will do my best to cover what we do. Actually, you know what, I might call upon Emily Parks. You're here. Emily is much more of an expert than I am. Emily, do you want to just say a few words about advocacy? We have this slide and then the next slide, I believe, that might talk about it. Just to give people just a brief overview, maybe more of a high level.
One of the fundamental principles that separates NAWBO from other business owners or business organizations is the advocacy arm of our platform. We actually have staff members that are employed as subcontractors who are lobbyists for us as women business owners, which means that they are able to take our stories, our experiences, what we are struggling with in our businesses and our employment of other individuals, and help amplify our voices so that they're going out, speaking on our behalf, and making a greater impact than any of us independently can do. The beauty of this is that NAWBO is a bipartisan organization. So not only are they taking our stories and experiences and acting on our behalf to make a change, but they're doing it in a manner so that they drive engagement from both sides of the political party divide. So we do not support any legislation that is not supported by someone from at least two political parties. We want to make sure there's a Republican and a Democrat that's supporting the legislation. And the legislation has to be designed to make it easier for us to start, run, and grow our businesses. So it's very much focused on our needs as women business owners. But the public policy element of NAWBO, it's not politics, it's about public policy, which is not about individuals getting elected. It's about individuals representing us as their constituents to pass legislation in a bipartisan manner that makes it easier for us to start, run, and grow our businesses. Janice, was that what you were looking for as an overview?
Perfect. You did so much better than I could have done. Definitely. So these are just some bullets that I think Emily alluded to most all of these right here. And it does make NAWBO unique for sure. Next
and
slide,
registration is open. The one that you see right there at the bottom about events in DC and in chapters, I just want to make sure everyone is aware that registration is currently open for advocacy days, which are coming up in June. And so members are eligible to register for advocacy days, and it gives us a chance to meet with elected officials, share our stories, meet with committee members in DC, but this year is going to be virtual. Hopefully by 2022, we'll be back up in DC.
Thank you for that, Emily. And you just reminded me to say something else. If you're a member on here, I'm sure you'll get no shortage of emails about Advocacy Day and registering. But if you somehow they go in your spam or you've lost track of it, it will be on their website, the national website. So and non-members who are here tonight, if you're curious, definitely go out, visit our Greater Raleigh website to see what we're doing. You may have already done that, and that's why you're here tonight. But the national website, definitely, you won't be able to access some of the areas on the site because they're for members only, some of the benefits that I was telling you about, but you'll see a lot of information on there, and it'll give you a really good sense of what the organization is about, and I'm sure you'll see some information about Advocacy Day. So you can go there too. Is that correct, Emily? They can see that?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Particularly our advocacy platform is on there right now.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, well, here we go. Here's some links. Forgot those were there. I'm not usually the one that talks about these slides, so I forgot that these were here. So I am going to go ahead. Well, I can't. Holly, are you able to copy the link, or somebody put it in the chat? maybe just for ease for everyone, for Advocacy Day or just the national website. Somebody put it in the chat, and
I will.
and then people, if they want to click on it or copy it for later, that's great.
Yeah, we'll stick it in there.
All right. Next slide, please. Asking you to do two things at once. And this is Karina Lemons, our Director of Public Policy for this year until June. She's so lovely. I just love that picture. And I miss her being here tonight. But if you have any questions beyond what Emily was talking about, definitely jot down her phone number or her email, and she would be more than happy to answer any questions for you about what she does as the type of liaison with our chapter and this effort. Next slide, please. Okay, so Carletha, I think it's your turn to take it away.
Okay, so again, key Greater Raleigh NAWBO benefits. I know we're talking about the benefits on a national level and talking about the benefits at the local level. So these are some key benefits of the Greater Raleigh, the local chapter level. So we have monthly programs. This kind of summarizes, I think, a lot of what we've already talked about. But monthly programs, social events, other member-only events that are you receive emails about and that are published on the website under the events tab. The mastermind peer groups, which Janice already shared about, corporate partnership opportunities for someone who may be interested in that, advocacy programs, as Janice and Emily just spoke to. Discounts from participating businesses, and then opportunities to develop your leadership skills, by being a part of a board or committee, and then of course peer group involvement. So there's lots of opportunity for you to, once you become a member, to get involved, to roll up your sleeves, to work in partnership and collaborate. There's as much of that as you would like to do. And, sometimes people will say, well, I come in, I just want to come in and kind of get my feet wet and get an understanding. And then some people are just ready to come in and just say, what can I do? I'm ready to get involved. So whatever your particular position is on that, the chapter can certainly, I think, accommodate that. Next slide, please. Again, national NAWBO benefits included in your Greater Raleigh membership. And again, I'm not going to read all of these out, but the e-learning series that we have, the virtual opportunities to learn and to grow, virtual learning speaking opportunities for Premier members. You have to be a Premier member for that. Entrepreneur Institute National Membership Directory, which we talked about, business owner discounts. Virtual weekly community connect with your national NAWBO sisters. There's opportunities for that. And then lots of e-blast updates on, pertinent matters for business owners. So just lots and lots of variety, lots and lots of resources that are going to come with that membership. And when you pay your one membership, you will get the benefit of the national benefits as well as the chapter benefits and many of the things that as Janice was saying, and she was saying, at no cost, no additional cost, it all comes in with your one annual membership fee. Next slide, please. So again, we want to thank our national annual sponsors, B of A. We have a very good connection with Bank of America. From time to time throughout the year, they actually serve as a panel to answer questions that we have. This time already they've spoken on, I think, a couple of times, issues related to the PPP, having to repay the loans, lots of different things that are of interest from a financial standpoint for our members. And then of course, UPS, I don't know if you're a UPS user or whatever, but we do, that is a sponsor for us. And then of course, Office Depot, which we all need their services from time to time. Next slide, Holly. Exclusive offers for members. You save money for your business with member discounts that we've talked about. You've utilized the monthly business gifts from NAWBO National. You're constantly getting emails, what they call NAWBO perks, that make you aware of discounts that are available for lots of lots of companies that we are very familiar with. Sometimes it's maybe Sam's, but lots of different opportunities that we're getting for savings, so we can utilize those monthly opportunities. And then, certainly check your inbox for e-blast updates on savings for members through our national corporate partner alliances. So just lots of benefits that you wouldn't otherwise think of, but there really are a lot. And again, I encourage you to look at our NAWBO Greater Raleigh site, but also the NAWBO.org, the NAWBO HQ site, because that'll give you a fuller sense, I think, of all of the sponsors and all of the discounted offerings that come to us month by month or throughout the year. Next slide. This is just examples of NAWBO perks. Just this week, we've been advised that 30% off of a purchase of a new membership at Sam's Club, savings on closing costs through Quicken Loans, HelloFresh sign up and save $90. So these are just examples of some of the perks that we get the opportunity to take advantage of through our membership with NAWBO. Next slide, please. Once you become a member, for those of us who are members now and those of you who will be joining, don't forget to keep your profile up to date. That serves a lot of different purposes. And as I've spoken, there may be people throughout the NAWBO organization nationwide who may be looking for you, who may be looking for the service that you provide. Many times we have people who are relocating from one part of the country to another, and they may be a NAWBO member, and they're trying to find out who can I connect with, who can I touch base with, who else is doing the type of work that I'm doing, that kind of thing. So keep your profile updated. And I think that's one of the things that once you become a new member, that's one of the things that Janice's team, the professional development, will remind you of, as we're bringing you into the organization. So onboarding you, so to speak, but don't forget to do that, that specific to the current members. But once you become a member, those of you who are guests tonight, we would certainly remind you to make sure that you keep your profile up to date. And Janice, I think it's back to you.
Okay, so we've talked about our sea of opportunity, talked about the peer groups, attend Greater Raleigh NAWBO events, which we're doing our very best with the virtual events. We've heard about the National NAWBO Conference. Next slide, please. Oh, this was slow. Education was supposed to pop up a little faster. I'm not sure if we had to click something because we usually have this going on auto on YouTube. Okay, so the education, the e-learning series, I have touched on that. And as a Premier member, you have access to all of that. Entrepreneurial Institute, attend NAWBO conferences. There's just so much, too much for any one person to do all of it. There's something for everyone. And if you are lucky enough to get into a breakout room with Kat, who has joined us, she has a lot of experience with a lot of these things. Maybe others do as well, but I probably can't even do it justice because I haven't even done all of these things. Acceleration. We do try to partner with, and when I say partner with, I mean access as much information as we can to pass along to you. If a member, and this is part of our professional development committee, we try to plug folks into if they need resources, if they need contacts at the SBA, what's the latest there, or how can we put you in touch with the right person, the Women's Business Center, and things like resources like that. There's a lot of places around in the community that can help a women business owner, no matter what level you're at. If you're just starting out, if you're in a position, or if you're in a business and you have another side hustle and you want to start another business, but you knew how to start this business over here, but maybe you're not sure how to navigate this situation, we can help plug you into what you need for that. So there's just a lot of resources that we can find for you if you need help in your business, whatever stage you're at. So that's the job of the Professional Development Committee. Next slide, please. And these are some of the partners. I mentioned 2 out of the 3. So SCORE is another. You probably, if you live in this area, you're probably familiar with all 3. But we can plug you in if you can't figure out, what's best. We definitely can help you there. Next slide, please. Okay, so here, feel free to jot down the phone numbers here. These are the folks most often called for one reason or another. So my contact information is here. Even if you're not a member yet, feel free to give me a call if you have questions on how my committee operates and how I could help if you ever joined. And then of course there's Holly here, and she has a co-director, Catherine. I don't believe Catherine's here tonight, for corporate partners. Karina, you saw her picture, and you've all met Carlitha. So feel free to jot down any of our phone numbers to reach out to us if you have any questions. Next slide, please. Okay, so back to you, Carlitha.
Okay, well, thank you. Again, I'm sorry, did someone say something? Okay, so we have covered a lot of information. It's, to some of you, it's probably like, oh my gosh, what did they say? But we are, like Janice says, we are available. Get our numbers, call us, even if you're not a member, if you're considering it, you just want to kind of talk it through, please feel free to reach out to any of us whose information, whose numbers have been provided, because we certainly want to make sure that you get all the clarity that you need about why NAWBO Greater Raleigh, why NAWBO as an organization, and then of course the chapter would be a good fit for you. But that brings us down, Janice had mentioned that we are into our membership drive. We have 2 membership drives each year. We had a fall membership drive that was from September 1 through the end of October. It was very successful. And here we are with our spring membership drive, which began March 1st and goes through April 30th. And I love this little phrase here: something very magical happens when women business owners come together for a greater cause. And I believe that that is definitely true and speaks to what we've got going on here at NAWBO. And NAWBO's theme for the spring membership drive is each one, reach one. So we're really trying to reach out and help people who have questions about or have some interest in NAWBO to get the clarity that you need. We've got here that just some of the things that I think is interesting that you need to know. When you join by April the 30th, you will save $45 off of the one-time initiation fee. You have to pay your membership fee, but for all new members, you also have to pay a one-time initiation fee, which is $100. But if you join now through April the 30th, that one-time initiation fee is discounted by $45. So you pay your annual membership fee plus the 50. Your initiation fee would become $55 instead of $45. So we certainly want to encourage you that if you're so inclined, this is a perfect time to join because of that big savings. I won't read all of this information that's below on the screen, because I think these are things that we've already talked about: innovation and growing, shaping legislation, creating positive change. So I think that there's so much going on within the NAWBO organization that you can benefit from, whether you are a brand new business owner, entrepreneur, or whether you've been in business, more than 10 years, as we spoke to one of the demographics, whether your bottom line is under construction, or whether you're $1 million business owner in terms of revenue. I think that there's something here for everybody, no matter what your level of entrepreneurship is, and no matter how long you've been in business. Next slide, please. And then these are just some wrap-up items, how you can contact us on the social media and on LinkedIn. And it has all of our information there in terms of how you can check in with us, keep up with what's going on with NAWBO Greater Raleigh, both at the chapter level as well as at the national level. And then the last slide is that we have is to thank you all for participating. Janice, I'm going to turn it back over to you to direct us further, but we do want to thank each one of you members as well as guests, all of us, for being here. I think it's been just a blessing for us that you all have taken of your time tonight to be here. So Janice, I'm going to give it back to you.
Okay. Thank you, Carlitha, very much for that detail.
Yeah.
Oh, great. I was just going to ask you to take that down so I can see the hands. So I will now take questions in the larger group here before we go out into breakout rooms to get to know each other. That way everybody has the benefit of hearing the questions and answers, if there are any. So just raise your hand if you can see the function on Zoom. If not, you can raise it on the camera, your actual hand. Do you have any questions? Any comments? Nobody has questions. Oh, Sharon, you are on mute.
Hey, Janice. So good to see you all. A question, if you join the national, does that automatically have you join the local chapter?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, because sometimes you have to do 2 memberships with other organizations. I was just wanting to clarify.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Once you join at the national, well, when you join, you actually join at the national level, and then they associate you with the local chapter based on the proximity of where you live to the chapter. We've had people who have been attached to a different chapter, and they'll say, well, based on where I live, I'd really rather be a part of the Raleigh chapter. So that's great. But there's a one membership. You have to pay the one-time initiation fee. There's one annual membership, and you get all of the benefits of the national and the chapter. What's going on with that in that one membership? Great question.
Thank you, Sharon. Danny?
So I guess if I currently live in San Diego, but I'd like to join the Raleigh chapter. So am I able to do that before I actually move to Raleigh?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. In fact, it's if you have any time, it's actually perfect because, before you might get busy, I mean, with us being on Zoom and whatnot, you can attend anything, no matter where you are. But it also may give you the opportunity, if you can squeeze it in, to start taking advantage of any of the e-learning things that are on there, or those other things. And you can look at what we didn't mention, I don't think, maybe we did, but maybe it wasn't clear. There's national speakers. And it's even better right now because they have all of these speakers on all different topics that they're grabbing from other chapters for national Zoom. So you've got a choice of so many different things you could do. You can't do all of them. There's not enough time in the day, but you can go ahead and go out there and see what programs they've got going on, at the same time as maybe we do. And, maybe alternatively, and different ones, different speakers from all around the country that you can connect with. So there's a lot of opportunities. And I think every Tuesday, they have this connect and learn, and so there's a lot of good stuff going on. You can be anywhere, even if we weren't in the Zoom era, you could still join from anywhere. And
Janice, just to elaborate on that, they've been having the National Connect and Learn Tuesdays at noon Eastern time, but then there's also the Chapter Connect that is for everyone nationally to hop on Zoom together Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And then they're doing e-learning events on Thursdays around noon. Yeah. So lots of options.
Of things.
Yeah. Anyone else have any questions for the big group? Marcy, you are on mute.
Yeah. So I just wanted to double check. If I remember correctly, access to the peer groups requires membership at the premier level.
Correct. Yes. That is correct. Anyone else? Oh. Well, Holly,
and Janice, I'm so sorry. No, I'm so sorry. I meant to do this when I was presenting the slides. I do want to recognize Elizabeth Skibby. She is a part of the membership committee, And so thank you, Elizabeth, for being here. She's superb. And so I just didn't want to the event to go without recognizing her as a part of the membership committee. She does an awesome job for us.
Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth, for all that you do.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that we are ready to go into the breakout rooms. Holly, if you would like to take care of that for us. And it was nice to see you all.
So Janice, just so I know, are we going to go into the breakout rooms and then leave from those rooms, or do you want everybody to come back together before at the end?
I think we can leave. I think we can leave from those rooms just to get the maximum amount. I don't see a reason to come back to the main group. Everybody's been on our website to see all of our next events. We do have an event coming up next week. It's a member exclusive, so if you are a member, you may join. It is our monthly connections and conversations that we do at the Greater Raleigh chapter level, and it's on Zoom, and it's just what it sounds like, connections and conversations. So if you are a member, you may join that next week, but visit our website for other events that are coming up. But otherwise, if I don't see you in my room, thank you for joining us tonight, and I want to give everybody the maximum amount of time to network and get to know each other.
All right, here we go.